Going on, Trevor? Good to see you. What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman III of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over the social channels at GBP Daily, and if you are not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like the video, throw a comment down in the comment section. It helps me and helps the channel be seen across YouTube. I'd appreciate it. It is Monday, September 9th. And we had ourselves quite the weekend. Kicked it off Friday night with everything we have already gone over regarding our squad, and then proceeded to enjoy our football Sunday by watching all of our fellow NFC North opponents get a win under their belt in week one. Lions won last night in overtime against the Rams. The Vikings beat the Giants pretty handedly, and the Bears somehow squeaked a win over the Titans. They were down 17-0. They scored 24 unanswered points without scoring an offensive touchdown, which is just crazy. So, yeah, not the greatest of weekends NFC North-wise for us Packer fans. But, hey, it's only week one. We've got a long way to go. If we were the lone winning team in the NFC North, maybe I'd have a different outlook, but we're just going to be positive, optimistic here. Some Packer news. Malik Willis, my man. He's the guy. He has been named the starter this week, and we will be going up against the Indianapolis Colts next Sunday in Lambeau Field. It's a noon game, so hopefully we can kind of corral Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor. They had some pretty crazy flashes yesterday. Anthony Richardson had a couple bomb throws, but all in all, he only completed 9 passes, which is pretty wild. And they ended up losing 29-27 to the Texans. He also did have 6 carries, though, for 56 yards and a touchdown. So our defense will have our hands full between him and Jonathan Taylor at running back next weekend. Nothing new here. With Jordan Love news related, the timeline is officially 3 to 6 weeks, and the Packers themselves have stated they expect Jordan to be back on the sooner end of that, which is overall great news. Friday night was pretty worrisome. You didn't know what was going on, exactly what the injury was. So for it to be just 3 to 6 weeks, I think is the best possible outcome for us. The longer season has given us a little bit more of a break, whereas before, if you started off 0-2, there's typically, the chances of making the playoffs aren't very good. Well, with an extra game in the season, we have a little bit more leeway. So hopefully we can control the schedule here with Malik Willis over the next few weeks. So, yeah, as of right now, it is the Malik Willis show. And if any coach in the league can prep up a game plan to make it easy for Malik to do well, it's Matt LaFleur. So I'm optimistic. Our schedule isn't crazy these next few weeks. As I noted earlier, we've got the Colts at home next Sunday at noon, and then we're in Nashville going up against the Titans. And then we come back home to face the Vikings in week 4. So that puts us right around the time where we could see Jordan Love coming back. But we will get to that point when it comes. So, yeah, we got the Colts next weekend. They look pretty decent. That'll be tough. And then Titans, who looked awful. They put up 17 points early on against the Bears and then did absolutely nothing but turn the ball over, it seemed like, to then go on and lose. And then we've got the Vikings at home for week 4. So they looked pretty good yesterday. Sam Darnold was throwing it all over the place. Justin Jefferson looked good, per usual. Jordan Addison did go down with an ankle injury, I believe. So we'll see what his status is here in the coming weeks. I'm sure he'll be out there playing. TJ Hawkinson, their superstar tight end, is starting the year on the PUP list. So he will not be up against us in week 4. So Okay, let's get to the sole purpose of why I am here, and that is to talk with you guys. Hope your Monday morning is going good. I've had a great morning thus far. Got up early, got a workout in, and now I'm doing one of my favorite things, talking with you guys. So let's see what we got going on in the chat here. Larry, we need, as the coach said, to tighten up our defense and our offense and find a quarterback that isn't money hungry. I can agree with you in the first half there. We need to tighten up our defense, tighten up the offense, stop making the mistakes. Fewer penalties. I know a couple of those penalties were pretty stupid, but yeah, got to tighten up. Durant, Malik Willis should be fine, honestly. Yeah, I'm pretty optimistic, honestly. I think Matt LaFleur, out of everybody, can draw up a game plan, especially with a whole week to prepare. More than a week. Pretty much since, I'm sure, last Friday night when they were on the plane ride home, that's all he was doing outside of waiting for the Jordan Love news, was scheming up what he can do or how he can make Malik Willis's next Sunday's game easy on him and just move the ball, score in the red zone. And he's a big dude and has a good running threat, so maybe that can open up some things. Nate, I'm ready for week 2. I am already ready. This weekend was long. Friday night was rough, and then come Sunday. Thankfully, the Badgers won on Saturday, and yeah, Sunday was a little tough. Started off decent. I thought the Bears were going to lose. The Vikings were pretty, in control of that game from start to finish, although they did play the Giants, who looked absolutely awful. And then the Lions last night. I thought the Rams were going to, which they did come back. They got that late field goal. I thought the Rams were going to sneak out with a win there, and then the Lions ended up coming down the field in overtime, and then David Montgomery scored them the game-winning touchdown. But I'm ready for week 2. Absolutely. 13, hope we do good defensively this season. I hope so too. We started off hot last Friday night, but then as the game went on, tackling got worse. The penalties, however, whether you want to say they're not the greatest of calls, they were called. And yeah, Jair, although he did get a pick, he was getting beat. Thankfully, he got that interception late in the game to kind of rid our minds of his performance overall. But yeah, and you also got to give A.J. Brown credit and the Eagles offense credit. They're a good team, clearly. So hopefully we can tighten up a little bit as that was said earlier. Jason, outside of the obvious, there were quite a few positive takeaways from the game Friday night. I appreciate you being one of the few accounts I see pushing those positives rather than sulk on the negatives. Jason, I absolutely love it. You are gassing me up here. I appreciate that. You are 100% correct. A lot of good takeaways from the game, even though we did not end up winning. Defense had a few early takeaways, as I was just talking about, had a few early stops. Xavier McKinney in his first game as a Packer had an interception. Jair had a pick late in the game in the red zone. Josh Jacobs got going as the game went on. He ended up with 84 yards rushing on just 16 carries. So an average of over 5 yards per carry, which is great. Jaden Reed had an absolute monster game. Offense pretty much could do whatever they wanted to for the most part, but with all the self-inflicted wounds like penalties, missed throws here and there, they just couldn't break through their own mistakes. So think about it, though. They had a pretty average outing as an offense and still put up 29 points. That's something to build on as we go into these next couple of weeks. Hopefully, they can capitalize in the red zone. Bring those penalties down just a couple, and we're talking an extra, couple touchdowns. The missed throws too. That Christian Watson one in the back of the end zone was just off by a hair, and those are huge plays. That instead of a touchdown, we get a field goal, and they're a missed 2-point conversion and a missed 43-yard field goal away from making up the 5 points that we lost by. So that's how the league is, though. It's a game of inches. Every game, every point is so crucial. So, anyways, thanks for the comment, Jason. I appreciate the support. Hope you have a great Monday. Richards, I feel like we need to get our rookie linebackers in there more. I feel like Hopper did an outstanding job Friday night. Edgerrin Cooper, man, he did great. I know he's a rookie in week 1, but he had an awesome game whenever he was out there. So Isaiah McDuffie, the linebackers overall, I thought played pretty well outside of Quay Walker, which, man, he had a rough night. Love me some Quay Walker, but he did not have the greatest of games Friday night. And I know you're going up against the Eagles. You know, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. That's a stacked offensive squad. And their offensive line, you know, being one of the best in the league last year. I know they lost Jason Kelce, but they're still going to be one of the best offensive lines in the league this year. So grabbing those early blocks from the D lineman and then separating, and Quay just couldn't get off the blocks, especially in the red zone once they were locked on. So hopefully they can improve on the defensive side going into next Sunday. Richards, thanks for the comment, man. Appreciate you hopping in. Hope you have a good Monday. Eric, Narveson looked great up until the missed 43-yard field goal. Any worries at this point? See if I got a banner for that one. I do not. I'll throw up this one. Why not? What's up, Eric? Well, I'm not crazy worried at the moment. He went 3 for 4 on field goals, and his makes were gimmies. 31 yards, 23 yards, 26 yards out. And he hit all of his extra points. So, yeah, you know, you'd think a 43-yarder should be made. And, you know, especially at that point in the game where we really needed those points, tough to see. You know, we're going to need all the points we can get, you know, at any point in the game. But later on, when, you know, momentum's going back and forth, you can't miss a 43-yarder. So, as I said earlier, you're a missed field goal away and a missed 2-point conversion away from making up those 5 points that we lost by. And it's just mistakes like that just come back to bite you. And it did, unfortunately. So, Eric, not too worried about Braden Narveson, at least at this point. So, thanks for hopping in the chat. Appreciate you. Have a good Monday. Rachel, I'm doing myself a favor in not looking at the NFC North standings for a few weeks. So, yeah, as I said earlier, pretty much a meh weekend for football for us. Everybody else in our Division 1, and we are the lone loss. So, avoid checking out the NFC North standings, at least for this week. But it's early. You know, it's tough, but it is early. Don't wait too long, though, because hopefully we can grab our first win next weekend against the Colts. And the Bears are facing the Texans down in Houston. The Vikings have the 49ers in Minnesota next weekend. And the Lions got another home game against the Buccaneers, which that must be nice. Starting off the year with 2 home games must be nice. So, yeah, the Lions are the most likely of the bunch to get a win. But I do think the Bears and Vikings both lose next week. Rachel, thanks for hopping in. Don't check out the NFC North standings this week, but wait till next Sunday night into Monday. I think it'll look a little better. So, thanks, Rachel. G Money over on X, who teaches our DBs how to tackle. It's a problem every year. It seems to be a problem. Yes, G Money. G Money in the house. I love it. Eric Stokes just got freaking man when Jalen Hurts scrambled to get that first down late in the game. You have a chance to finally, you know, nail the quarterback. He's running as a running back at this point. He's not even really threatening to slide, and he just kind of pops him, gets ran over, and then Jalen Hurts gets an extra 2-3 yards to get a first down to extend that drive late in the game, which they ended up having the ball for about 8 minutes, which is just inexcusable. I know there's a lot of penalties thrown on that defensive drive, you know, most of them not being the greatest of calls, but no excuse. You got to tackle. So, yeah, that's tough, G Money. Appreciate you hopping in, man. Thank you. Aranda, Clifford, or Malik? It is the Malik Willis Show. Malik was announced officially as a starter for at least this Sunday. So hopefully he can do well enough to where we don't have to have another quarterback controversy next week. And Malik can just be the guy until Jordan comes back. So, yeah, it is Malik Willis, as Matt Young came in and answered your question already. So thank you, Matt, and thank you, Aranda. Nick over on Instagram, appreciate you hopping on, man. Good seeing you just about every morning. Bears, Lions, and Vikings all won, but Green Bay looked the best. We will be fine. I hope you're right, Nick. I hope you're right. I do think we did look pretty dang good. We scored the most points out of all 4 teams. And yeah, not the greatest of opponents. And then the Lions were going up against the Rams. Rams are supposed to be good this year, and they looked pretty solid last night. And Lions, yeah, came back from behind late in the game, hit a field goal, and then got the win in overtime. So, Nick, hopefully you are right, and we will be fine. Raj, is Love out for 3 weeks? I hope it's just 3 weeks. The official timeline, Raj, is 3 to 6 weeks. And the Packers themselves have said they are hoping that he's going to be back on the sooner end of that timeline. So, yes, hopefully just 3 weeks. We shall see. PJ, Alexander of everybody should know to go down in the end zone. Do you agree with his decision not to? Yeah, that was a little interesting. Yeah, he had to pick. You thought he was going to go down right away and then decided to bring it back out, only getting to, I think, the 15-yard line before getting tackled. I don't know. I feel like Keyshawn Nixon bringing out of the end zone was a worse decision at the end of the game to then take time off the clock and not even get it to the 30. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Jair bringing it out of the end zone after that pick was a little head-scratching. So, yeah, we'll see. Tracy, so thankful I had Jaden Reed starting in fantasy. He went off. Yes, Tracy, Jaden Reed is special. He had 138 yards and a touchdown on just 4 catches, which is crazy. And then had 33 yards rushing with a touchdown on just 1 carry. So talk about efficiency. Also had a 30-ish yard touchdown catch that was called back because Luke Musgrave did not get off the field in time, which was tough to see. That was in the first drive of the game or the second drive of the game, maybe. I think it was the first drive of the game. Not sure what the reasoning behind that was, but you got to get off the field, especially when we know Jordan's going to try and catch the defense with too many guys whenever he gets the chance to. So got to sharpen that stuff up. Little stuff like that comes back to bite you, which instead of a touchdown, we'd have a field goal, and we lose by 5 points. So, all right, it is time for the fact of the day. And the fact of the day is brought to you by TickPick. They guarantee the lowest prices on Packers tickets, and even better, if you find tickets that are somehow cheaper than what they have them at, TickPick will give you 110% of your money back. If you want $20 off your next ticket order, use the code Packers20 at checkout for $20 off. It can only be used in the app, so be sure to download the app with the season coming up. Going to the game Sunday, don't have tickets, download the TickPick app and use the code Packers20 in the app. It'll get you $20 off. So if you end up finding tickets that are that are cheaper than TickPicks, they'll give you 110% of your money back. This is a pretty, there's no gimme, or there's no gimmick, there's no nothing, there's no hook. It's literally the cheapest tickets out there. They post, and I do post the comparisons every single week. And yeah, they're the cheapest out there. If you end up finding some cheaper, they'll give you your money back and then some. So use the code Packers20 in the app at TickPick. Appreciate you guys. Fact of the day, Green Bay, Wisconsin is nicknamed Titletown. Why, you ask? Well, they have the most championships in NFL history, and that is with a total of 13 championships, including 4 Super Bowls. Packers twice won it 3 straight times, first in 1929, 1930, and 1931. Then again in 1965, 1966, and 1967. The other titles came in 1936, 1939, 1944, 1961, 1962, 1996, and most recently in 2010 with their Super Bowl win over the Steelers in Super Bowl 45. That was a fun one. So, fact of the day is a fun one today. Hopefully, we can add championship number 14 this season. So, just speak it into existence, shall we? Big shout out to TickPick for partnering up with myself. I've used them. I would never stray you in the wrong way, promote something that I'm not 100% on board with personally. So download the app, use the code Packers20 at checkout for $20 off your order. All right, what else we got? PJ, yeah, I forgot about Nixon. That was a bad call on him. That was just terrible. Now, in hindsight, it's not too bad because, Jordan hit Jaden right away. I mean, that was an insane throw to hit Jaden Reed for about, 40 yards at the end of the game. That was just nuts. That was Rodgers-esque. And, if anybody doesn't like me comparing Jordan Love to Aaron Rodgers, well, Aaron's he's the best thrower of the football of all time. So anytime Jordan does anything similar to him, that's a good thing. In most cases, might I add. Yes, that Keyshawn Nixon thing was a head scratcher also. Johnny Boy over on Instagram, thanks for hopping on, my man. Packers could have easily beat Philly, just not being able to capitalize off Eagles' turnovers hurt us, and we couldn't get off the field at the end of the game. Bingo. Yeah, not capitalizing off the turnovers was just brutal. You just got that feeling too, didn't you? When we couldn't punch it in the end zone early in the game. We're up 6-0, and then all of a sudden they go down and score a touchdown and just kind of wipe out all that momentum, all that defensive work that we put in to get the ball back, to stop them from scoring early on, and we couldn't do anything with it. We were started at the 20-yard line-ish, like twice early in the game, and we couldn't score a touchdown. That's just bad red zone football. So I agree with you, Johnny. Hopefully next weekend will be different. Nelson, greetings from El Paso, Texas. Go Pack, go. Aaron Jones' hometown. Greetings. Jake Wynn. If anybody can bring it out of the end zone for a touchdown, it's Nixon. Sad he didn't even get close, but I could see what his intentions were. Absolutely agreed, yeah. I think his thought, and maybe he was also told, give it a shot. No matter how deep it is, give it a shot. We've only got 30 seconds left. Even if he could have broken one for 50 yards and then set us up, in good field position. That was kind of my thought process too. I was initially like, gosh, what the heck? Like, you took time off and you didn't even get back to the 30. But then I'm like, well, we don't have much time to do anything. And if anybody, like you said, can bring it out of the end zone for a touchdown right now, yeah, it's Keyshawn Nixon, back-to-back All-Pros as a kick returner. So, yeah, I completely agree, Jake. Thanks for hopping on X. Hope you have yourself a good Monday. Randall, good morning, Rob. Hope the crowd is loud Sunday, and I'm predicting a win. Randall, I'm right there with you, man. That is a good point. That's a perfect way to end the show. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me as far as the show goes. But as you know, and as I say all the time, the content never stops. I'm always posting anything Packers related all day long. So be sure to follow me at GBP Daily on every social platform. If you are not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It would mean a ton to me. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you all then. And until then, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you and have yourself a great Monday.